Hey guys, sorry for having to send this one out this way. Thanks for your patience. Uh, yeah, just forgot to hit record during the actual class. So those of you who were not able to join in, you get this special video. Um, Look, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for this great semester. Like your class, your section of the class in particular. Um, I have never seen a group where like so many people got so close in one of my gen ed classes ever before. Like upper division classes, yeah, that happens sometimes, but in comp 2, never. Not in all of my years. And I just want to say I'm proud of you guys for making it this far. You know, however you feel like you're doing in this class and all of your other classes. I know the world has been absolutely crazy this semester. I got to tell you, if I were in your shoes, I would not have been able to make it this far. I would not. Just knowing who I am. So just the fact that you made it this far, even if you don't feel like you have done your best or whatever, just making it this far is really goddamn impressive. More generally, just kind of looking at our class as a whole, we spent the first 8 weeks just focused on ethos, pathos, logos, and kairos, context, audience, genre, that kind of stuff, in hopes that you would continue developing those skills. You'd get better at understanding arguments that people are making, where they work, where they don't, being able to apply that to your own arguments, more importantly. One of our missions here at Lindenwood is to make people better, to make things better. And I don't feel like this is one of those classes where like you ever stop needing those skills. Like, obviously I'm a weird sample on this one, but I use this stuff all the time whenever I'm talking to friends and family and my colleagues and things like that. Like, I'm constantly having to dissect their arguments and figure out what they're saying and why they're saying it, and present those arguments to them as well. And one of the things that we're trying to accomplish here is obviously, to get better at communicating. One of the goals of this class, quite frankly, is to undo a lot of the toxic shit that boomers have brought into academia over the years, where, the purpose is just do whatever you're interested in and fuck everyone else. I think that's horseshit. The reason that we, in the academy as a whole, but specifically here at Lindenwood, the reason that we learn is so that we can apply that information, that knowledge, those skills, and share them with other people. That's part of our mission here. So I hope that all of that work that we did, very particularly in the first half, understanding arguments, dissecting arguments, breaking stuff down, that kind of stuff, I hope that you're able to take that into the rest of the world. For those of you who are continuing on in academia, after you finish up your degree here at Lindenwood, I hope that you become better writers than a lot of academic writers have been in the past, and that you can figure out better why a lot of this stuff matters and how you can use it to help people. From this point on, then, you're probably still going to be using some of these writing skills in your other classes. Not so much argumentative writing, or persuasive writing, but argumentative for sure. And putting together information and things like that. Obviously, you're going to use that while you're here at Lindenwood. But I hope that you can bring a lot of those other skills into other places too. Second half of our semester has obviously been focused on this research project. You've been becoming an expert on the topic that you chose to write on. There's a very good chance that you know more about what you were writing about now than the vast majority of the population does, I hope. And I hope that you are able to get your arguments together, get your essay together in such a way that you're proud of it, that you're able to make it meaningful, and that you're able to make it convincing, and most importantly, that you're able to make it as true as it can possibly be, because That's kind of the gold standard that we're aiming for on this one. As you are working on that final project, for those of you who are doing digital peer reviews, I hope you've been taking advantage of those. I'm not your babysitter. I've not been assigning points to those because I hope the value of them is very clear. It's said that an intelligent person learns from their mistakes and that a wise person learns from the mistakes of others. And I hope these peer reviews have given you an opportunity to help people to learn from your mistakes and to help you learn from their mistakes as well. This is our final peer review of the semester. So as you're working on your partner's papers, please make sure to pay extra attention to mechanics. Make sure the fonts are the same throughout the entire paper. Make sure there's no extra weird spaces between paragraphs. Make sure that particularly the font in the header is the same as everywhere else, and that it's just generally following the rules of either MLA or APA format, whichever one they're writing in. Like I've said before, whichever one is most useful to you. If you're going into the humanities, you might be using MLA. If you're going into the soft or the hard sciences, then you're probably going to be using something closer to APA. So whichever format, as long as it's consistent throughout the entire paper, is fine. Check their citations, make sure that they are correct both in text and on the works cited page. Make sure that everything that's cited in text refers to the works cited page, and everything on that references page at the end refers to something that is actually cited in text as well. Check their grammar, look for typos, look for spelling errors, look for confusing sentence structure, things like that. That's all the stuff we're trying to get rid of at this stage of the game. Make it as clear, clean, professional as possible, and then go circle back, especially if you've been working with the same person this entire time. Then go ahead and circle back and make sure to look at everything else they've done, because they've probably made some changes since that very first content peer review we did a week and a half ago. So check their thesis statement, check their evidence, check their reasons, make sure that all of that feels like it's as strong as it could be. If there's something that needs some work, go ahead and give them notes on it. Other things they might not have thought of, or places where you'd be curious about knowing more, that kind of thing. Look at their paragraph structure and just check the overall flow of the paper. See if the order that they have it in makes sense, and make sure that they are doing particularly those topic sentences and transitions, so that it's really their argument and they're not making the original authors do all the work on that one. This is their chance to take all of that information and put it together themselves for the argument they want to make. Go through, do a double check on style real quick, those I statements, me statements, you statements. Check for logical fallacies if you happen to catch any of those. Make sure they're not asking rhetorical questions, particularly in the introduction or conclusion. Make sure they're not doing you statements. They're going through and actually identifying who the target audience is. Help them with word choice on that. Find synonyms for the topic or the target audience if they need to. And where can they signpost where they're moving from one section to another? Some of you guys have 3 or 4 things that you're bringing together on this one. So see if there's a way that they can make it more clear that they're shifting to a new part of the discussion there and doing so smoothly. Kind of just your last shot, make it as clear as you possibly can. Remember, final draft is due 11 o'clock next Thursday, May 5th, Central Time. I know I've been pretty loosey-goosey with deadlines throughout the semester, but that is our one hard deadline of the semester, because I do not have a lot of time to get those graded. So if it's not in when it's actually due, you run the chance that I'm not going to take it for credit. I'm not going to say that I absolutely won't, if it's like 2 minutes late or something. But there is a very real chance that late papers will not be accepted for credit, and I don't want that to tank your score. Likewise, if there's any of those like quizzes or anything throughout the semester, the grammar quizzes, the APA activities, the library research things, the reading quizzes, that kind of stuff, if there's any of those you didn't get done yet, I will still be taking those for credit through midnight tomorrow, midnight Friday, April, checking my date here, April 29th. I'm planning on just getting all of those caught up and graded first thing Saturday morning. So if you get them in before midnight on Friday, then that will also still be accepted for credit. so that hopefully those of you who are pretty close or who are worried about how this final paper is going to go will be able to squeak in those few extra points by continuing to practice the skills that we're supposed to have been working on. Yeah, again, thank you for your patience. Just forgot to hit the record button. Noticed it immediately. If you talk to anybody who was in class synchronous with us today, then they will probably be happy to tell you about the large string of profanity. Most semesters, this is whenever I would be saying, I hope that I'll see you around campus, or what classes I'm teaching in the future, but I don't have my fall schedule yet. I'm having to switch only to online while my wife is working on her degree next year. So the vast majority of what I'm teaching for the next couple of years will probably be English 150 and 170, unfortunately. But yeah, there might be an online world literature class or folklore or mythology or something like that somewhere down the road. And hopefully after a couple of years, then I'll be back on campus ready to see all you guys walking around as seniors getting ready to graduate. A little older, a whole lot wiser, probably a little more tired than you are now, unfortunately. But yeah, hopefully I'll see you in those online classes, or I will run into you in a couple years. Honest to God, this semester has been absolutely bonkers. Thank you guys for just making it so interesting, making it so fun. Thanks for working with me while I figure out the new way that they want me to teach this class. It's been a trip. Sorry that I wasn't here for like half of it with all the COVID scares and everything. But have a good summer, have a good rest of your time, whatever comes next. If you've got questions about your paper, you want to email me over the weekend or over the next couple of weeks. I'm not going to be checking email too much over the weekend, but next week I'll probably be on my computer quite a bit. So if you've got any questions about your paper, anything you're curious about, like how well it's working or whatever, just shoot me an email and I'll get back to you. All right. Thanks, guys.